Introverts, how did you meet your girlfriend? We had mutual friends. She had a pug, and I got a pug puppy. She hit me up about him and the rest is history. Best wingman ever. Introverted girl here, hope that's okay. Met my boyfriend on Reddit. I actually met mine by going to a party. I'm definitely the kind of person who hates parties, and I get through them by finding the house cat, if there is one. Otherwise, I sit on the couch with a drink in hand and make small talk with other people who sit down. My girlfriend was the same way, and so we just chatted for a while. I left at the same time as her, and we just kept talking as we walked home. We really hit it off, and a couple weeks later, we started dating. We hid out 1 year 2 days ago and we went to Disney World. Online, OkCupid. Define meet. Met her online by accident. Watched the second Transformers movie and made out on my car. Been married 3 years now and never looked back. Match.com, happily dating 10 years, happily married for 5, had many mediocre or bad dates before and was feeling pretty down when going on the first date with my wife, no regrets since smile. As an introverted lesbian, meaning way smaller dating pool, I used OkCupid. I was choosy and it took 2 weeks in a medium-sized city. I messaged a few people and wasn't too picky about appearance but about their answers. So for me it was monogamy, drinking, being okay with staying in, and the thing that sealed it was she had a cat in her picture and talked about how she loved her cat and Netflix. I also love cats and Netflix. It's been almost 2 years now. We don't have everything in common but we love each other smile. Random girl in class that sat next to my friends and I turned out to be just as weird as us. She somehow melded into our little group and became friends with us all. She's in color guard, and were friends with a bunch of weird girls there too. I revealed to her that I just so happens to think one of her friends was attractive, and she hooked us up. I'm still friends with her and she's currently dating one of the friends I have in that little group. All 4 of us are in a nice, happy, introverted relationship now. I was on a trip with my university's outdoors club to the National Whitewater Center in Charlotte. We needed to put our shit in bins while we went out and did stuff. I wasn't gonna pay for a whole bin for my phone, wallet, and keys, so I turned to the nearest person and asked if they wanted to share. We shared the bin and ended up, as a matter of convenience, walking around and hanging out together that day. We enjoyed each other, and ended up dating. RuneScape. We both went to a pajama party whilst in our last year at university. Stayed up most of the night playing Truth or Dare and failing to get to sleep. I then bumped into her randomly in the library a few days later and we walked home together. We were in the freezing cold for 20 minutes before she pulled gloves out of her pocket exclaiming she forgot she had them. I don't know, that's my abiding memory of that day. A month later she asks me out on a date via text and it went from there really. She'd been ostracized by her housemates and I felt a great degree of sympathy given a similar situation had befallen me back home. I think she'd regressed socially and the pajama party was a big deal for her. I wanted to bring the person she was back out into the open again I guess. 12 years on, still together. Neither of had been in a committed relationship before that. She said if she hadn't have loved my blue eyes, it never would have happened. Smile. No I don't. Wanna demonstrate? Smirking face. I'm the girlfriend and he's the introvert. Well we both are actually, but we were both a part of a group and met at an event the group was having. I instantly was impressed with how kind and sweet he was to me. I was a newbie, he had been there for years, just never went to the meetings or events. He friended me on Facebook that night and we chit-chatted all the time. Was best friends for a few years before we decided to just date. Been together just shy of 5 years. Edit, our first date was so awkward. Went for ice cream, we were both so nervous we barely spoke. Thankfully our online conversation were great and we quickly decided to do active dates like hiking, geocaching, and kayaking where talking wasn't huge and it worked great. ITT, people who think being introverted is being shy or socially awkward. It's not. I ended up moving in with two of my best friends and one of their friends that I had yet to meet. Their friend ended up becoming my girlfriend and the love of my life. So basically I got super lucky and didn't have to do the excruciating nights out and online dating that I hate so much. In college, she met another introverted friend I knew from high school, and said to find people sitting alone at dinner and invite them to the group. I was sitting alone at dinner, and voila. At the dog park. Our dogs were playing together and she introduced herself. I was new to town and she offered to show me around. I didn't even realize it was a date until I picked her up. Stopped being an introvert and became fucking savage. I was at a local concert near my college. I liked a girl but was too shy to talk to her. I was at the concert with my outlandishly confident and talkative friend. He started a conversation with her and I ended up talking to her as well. She started sitting next to me in class. We've been together for 5 years now. TLDR, have an outgoing friend, so I got the girl. Deleted. Was chilling on an MMO and was gonna do some homework for college when I said in global chat if anyone wanted to chat so I wouldn't be so bored. She messaged me and the rest is history. I met my girlfriend on Tinder. You can basically confirm a person has interests and motivations in life that you approve of before you put yourself out there. How can that really compare with just approaching some stranger and risking an introverted moment of shame/rejection because they look like you want to hump them, and probably have no idea of their interests/motivations? Do introverts not have boyfriends? I met an equally introverted girl. It kinda sucks now that we've been together for 5 years because we both get anxious answering the phone and talking to people, so now we can only talk to one another. Have known her since I was 4 but never really hung out or talked much. She moved away for a while and when she moved back she ended up working at the same place as me and we just started talking. Eventually I summoned the courage to ask her if she wanted to grab some ice cream after work. Babes love ice cream, to which she agreed. We've been together since '09 and will be celebrating our 5-year wedding anniversary next week. She's awesome and the absolute love of my life. My advice for fellow introverts is you just gotta go for it. You'll never know if you don't try, and man am I glad I tried. Smile. Dating site, OkCupid. Been together almost 5 years. Married in March. At church. She asked me out. Girlfriend? Laughs for 20 minutes before crying myself to sleep. I did cocaine at a party and had the courage to tell her I thought she was really pretty. Got her number and it progressed from there. My boss's wife introduced us. Hit it off pretty well, as after a year I moved in. She was in a bad situation and thought the overnight gas station attendant was cute and stayed the night to talk. Have a bunch of white lies to show interest in my interests, and it took off from there in a hell of a wild adventure. MySpace. Was in class, put in a group with a girl who was dating a friend of mine at the time. We hit it off and became friends, and at the endish of the semester, she said I should meet one of her friends. Now it's 4 years later and I'm still with that friend. She asked about the USB hanging around my neck and I explained how I like to keep my porn collection with me at all times, all 20.2 GB of it. Edit, typed the wrong number. We met online when we were 16 and used to talk on the phone a lot since she lived a few hundred miles away. I'm from southern Michigan right by the Indiana border. She's from Traverse City, which is on the top of the lower peninsula. Kinda lost touch when we were 17 and then one day she moved somewhere that was only 2-hour drive away and asked if I wanted to come to a party they were having. Went and met her in person for the first time and then she moved back soon after. We talk on the phone every few months or so, keeping up. We each got married and I got divorced after deployment, and then I start dating a girl in the Netherlands who is actually a more interesting story since we met as pen pals in 2nd grade. About the time me and my girlfriend from overseas broke up, she and her ex got a divorce. I talked to her one day and said I was driving home from Virginia and driving to the Upper Peninsula to visit my sister who was in college there. She said if I was driving that way I should stop by and visit her Halloween party since we hadn't seen each other in 6 years. Hung out with her and hit it off. Started talking on the phone every night and she came to Virginia to visit me in January. She ended up getting pregnant on that visit, so we started dating and she moved down. Been about 1.5 years since we started dating. I decided I was sick of being a virgin, so I just forced myself to go out to bars and clubs. I stopped trying to get laid and focused on making as many friends as possible. Lo and behold, one day I was at a bar and bumped into one of my friends who had dragged her cute introvert friend out with her. Now I don't have to be an extrovert anymore.